But folks, I've dug an awful deep rabbit hole. But I'm willing to crawl into that rabbit hole. I had a comment in my email. Sometimes I'll put my email under my videos. Well, one person didn't want to be rude, they said. But they asked me if I was a prophet, talking about preparedness and major disasters. If I was a prophet, if I knew something was coming. Well, I'm no more of a prophet than they are, knowing that nothing will happen. How do they know that? How do they know nothing's going to happen? About as much as I know something might happen, right? They called me a fearmonger. I don't see where I'm fearmongering. I try to put what I feel is good information out there, what I would want to know if I didn't know. You know, someone's willing to take their time to help me out. I'm going to stand there and I'm going to listen, and then I'm going to process the information. Sometimes I think it's a bunch of BS. Sometimes I am very thankful that they took the time to, have a little chat with me. So I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm not a fearmonger. I don't want to put anybody in panic. This is all stuff that you should already be knowing the situation that has been going on starting 2 years ago, and all the steps. Climbing. How long are those stairs? Until you reach whatever may happen. What is the straw that broke the camel's back? I don't know that. They don't know that. So I'm going to continue doing this because I feel in my heart that is something that I would want to do. It's something that I feel that I wouldn't call it a calling. I don't know what I would call it. It's just a gut feeling. And you know what? Nothing may happen. It might take 20 years, 100 years for a disaster where, the shit hit the fan. It may not come in my lifetime. I hope it doesn't. But you know what? I'm glad I am. I'm glad I am prepared. Because now I can rest at ease, knowing that, okay, I've done my part. I've sacrificed my time. I've sacrificed any spare money that I had to help me down the road. Maybe it's not even a sacrifice. If it's going to help me down the road, the food's not going to go bad. I've stored it properly. I've canned it. My supplies aren't going to go bad because I am eating. I'm rotating. So how is that hurting me? I can see where it's helping me. I don't have to go out into the public. I don't have to put gas in my car to go get groceries or go get this or go get that. So I guess it's helping me. It works for me. So, no, I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm not a fearmonger. No. This rabbit hole, it's not linear. You prepare for whatever may happen. We've had back-to-back snowstorms. Anything can happen at any time. A friggin' asteroid, I know. But a friggin' asteroid could come down and hit the ocean and cause tsunamis. We never ever know what's going to happen. And it could be just here. I could break a leg. I could break an arm. My engine could go in my vehicle. It's not, because it's a nice vehicle and it's got low miles, but anyway. I could fall. I take every precaution here to be safe. If it's slippery, I put ice creepers on. And not the cheap ones either. I put the good ones on. I don't take those unnecessary risks. I used to carry an armload of wood. An armload of wood. I don't do that anymore because I started hurting my shoulder. So now I'd rather take 2 or 3 trips to haul my wood in than one big armload. That's looking out for yourself. That's keeping yourself healthy. You know, I don't drive in storms because that's a risk. And I believe I should be off the road and leave the road driving for the plows that are trying to get it so we can drive. Now I can tell you, when I was working, I drove in some awful, awful snowstorms. Yeah, there's a few snowstorms that were coming that was going to be so big that I would go to work and I would bring a blanket and a pillow, pajamas, bring my extra food so I could go the night before, spend the night at work, so I knew that I was going to be at work so I could do my job. One year we got 42, 43-inch snowstorm, blizzard. The whole state was shut down. Plows were getting stuck on the interstate. Plows were getting stuck in the cities. Four-wheel drives were just useless. We couldn't keep up with it. The plows couldn't keep up with the snow and the blowing. I spent 3 days at work. 3 days. You could be stuck somewhere for 3 days and not be home. And if you live alone like I do, who's tending to your place? Who's tending to your wood fire? Who's tending to your birds? That's a sacrifice that I was willing to make. I made arrangement for somebody to come in and tend to my birds, and somebody to fill my wood stove. But you've got to plan ahead, folks. We all have to plan ahead. But this rabbit hole, it's an awful deep one, and I try to do it without fear-mongering, because that's not who I am. I don't fear-monger. I ration things out. X, Y, and Z could happen. What have I done to prepare for X, Y, and Z? And there's always something that you don't think about. You know, there's something that is just out of the ordinary. It's, I don't even know what you call that. Boy, the snowmobiles. Boy, they're... But anyway, we got another storm coming. But another day of preparing for another storm, and yesterday I finished up from the other storm. Yeah, I spent about 6 hours shoveling yesterday, which is good. It's good for the arms, it's good for the neck and shoulders and midsection. And I figured I got a pretty good upper body workout yesterday that I didn't feel my legs were exercised enough, so as far as you can see, I walked up here and on the other side of the bog through the snowmobile trail. That's where I filmed part 2 of If the Shit Hits a Fan, I'm Coming to Your House. There might be several parts to that. I put part 1 and part 2. I'm working on another one. Y'all seem to like that. Pretty good conversations going. I'm getting quite a few emails. Thank you for those. And for those of you who are blind, I think I'm exaggerating. You know, sometimes people ignore the truth. Life is good. I'm happy. Don't disturb my comfort zone. Don't bother me with that. Don't bother me with that. If it happens, I'll deal with it then. Well, go back and watch part 1. Don't come to me. No, if you haven't done anything to help yourself, don't come to me. No, sir. Nope, don't come to me.